She stood on that final runway in 2003, lights blinding her eyes, heart racing, knowing that in just a few seconds her life was about to change forever. Tyra Banks looked at the last two contestants and said the words every aspiring model dreams of hearing, that one of them was about to become a star. When Adrianne Curry was announced as the very first winner of America's Next Top Model, it felt like television history had been made. Confetti fell, cameras flashed, and millions of viewers believed they were watching the birth of a supermodel. But more than 2 decades later, Adrianne is telling a story that sounds nothing like the fairy tale fans remember. She says the victory that looked so glamorous on screen quickly turned into one of the most humiliating experiences of her life. The prizes that were supposed to launch her into the fashion stratosphere didn't become the campaigns and covers she had imagined. Instead, she recalls being taken to a corporate office, placed in a back room, and used for what she describes as a simple makeup demonstration in front of a small group of people. For that moment, the moment she had fought for 3 weeks of competition, she claims she received just $15,000. No major advertising campaign, no instant transformation into the face of a global beauty brand, no career comparable to the supermodels she had been told she would stand beside. For a young woman who had given everything to win, the emotional impact was devastating. She didn't feel like a star. She felt embarrassed. What happened next, she says, was even more damaging. The modeling agency that was supposed to represent her became, in her words, an environment where she was set up to fail. After the show changed its agency partnership for the following season, she believes the agency she was signed to no longer had any interest in helping her succeed. Castings didn't come. Opportunities disappeared. Doors that should have been opening stayed firmly closed. She claims she was told directly that people wanted her to fail, that her lack of success would make the show look bad. It turned into a quiet battle behind the scenes, something her former manager later described as a war. A war over contracts, over credibility, and over a young winner's future. At the time, she was married to actor Christopher Knight, and she remembers the moment he realized what was happening. Looking at her situation from the outside, he allegedly told her in blunt terms that she had been taken advantage of. Coming from someone who had grown up in the entertainment industry, those words carried weight. He understood how contracts could trap young performers, how fame could be used as leverage, and how easily a dream could be redirected. According to Adrianne, he tried to confront the agency and push for her release, but by then the momentum she needed in the modeling world had already been lost. She says she reached out to the show, the platform that had promised to change her life, hoping for support. But the calls stopped being returned. The connection that had once felt so strong suddenly went silent, and the first winner of one of reality television's biggest franchises found herself alone, trying to rebuild a career that had never truly started. For years, her interviews were filled with anger and disappointment. She openly criticized the experience, the industry, and the people she believed had failed her. But time has changed her perspective. Today, her tone is different. She no longer speaks with the same bitterness about Tyra Banks. Instead, she says Tyra did what she had to do to succeed in an industry that demands absolute self-preservation. She even praises her for building an empire, making it clear that she no longer sees herself as someone who was personally wronged by the supermodel. Yet the controversies surrounding her time on the show didn't end there. In recent years, she revealed another painful memory, claiming that the makeover she received during the competition caused severe damage to her hair, leaving her partially bald and with a wound that took time to heal. What had been presented on television as a dramatic transformation for the sake of fashion became, for her, a lasting physical reminder of the experience. Now, with a new docuseries revisiting the history of America's Next Top Model, all of these stories are returning to the spotlight. Former contestants are speaking out about body image criticism, controversial photo shoots, and the intense pressure they faced while trying to succeed in an environment that promised fame but often delivered something far more complicated. And in a twist that no one expected, there are plans for the show to return. A new cycle, a new generation of models, a new chance to rewrite the legacy. For fans, it raises a powerful question. Has the world changed enough for the modeling industry, and reality television, to treat its winners differently? Or will the same system that created overnight stars and silent struggles simply repeat itself? Adrianne Curry's story, however, did not end in failure. The modeling career she once dreamed of transformed into something else entirely. She moved into television, built a new path, and eventually found success in a completely different field, becoming one of the top representatives for a global beauty company. The definition of winning changed for her. It was no longer about magazine covers or runway shows. It was about control over her own life and career. Looking back, she now says she is grateful for everything that happened, the good, the bad, and the painful, because it shaped who she became. The experience that once felt like a betrayal became a turning point that forced her to find her own way outside the system that had crowned her. And that is what makes her story so compelling. It isn't just about a reality show. It's about the illusion of instant success. The pressure placed on young contestants who are told their lives will change overnight. The gap between what audiences see on screen and what happens when the cameras turn off. Because sometimes the person who wins the show doesn't win the story. As the possibility of a new season approaches, viewers are left wondering whether the next winner will step into a different reality, one where promises are kept and careers are truly built, or whether Adrianne Curry's experience will remain a quiet warning hidden behind one of the most iconic finales in reality television history. And maybe the most powerful image of all is still that young woman standing under the lights in 2003, believing she had just reached the beginning of her dream, unaware that the real journey, the difficult, complicated, life-defining journey, was only just beginning.